The Nintendo Switch 2 has already sold 3.5, probably 5 million consoles, but do you realize just how many more the highest selling console of all time has sold? These are the top 6 until we get to that number 1 highest selling console of all time. And can you guess the highest selling games for each of these? Number 6, the original PlayStation. Released over 30 years ago. I'm old, I had one of these right when it came out. The PlayStation wasn't the first console to use CDs instead of cartridges, but it was the first successful one, and it really led the transition to CDs for gaming. The PlayStation sold a total of 102.49 million consoles. And the highest selling game for PlayStation, Gran Turismo. Released in 1997, it sold 10.8 million copies. And that's only number 6 on this list. Wait till we get higher. By the way, I'm Listman Guy. You don't have to subscribe. My lists are free for everyone, but if you do, thank you. Number 5, PlayStation 4. Released in 2013. Has it really been that long? The PlayStation 4 has sold a total of 117.2 million consoles. And the highest selling game on PlayStation 4, Marvel's Spider-Man with 22.68 million copies. Number 4, Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Oh man, if you thought the original PlayStation was old, the original Game Boy was released in 1989, the same year they released Taylor Swift. Game Boy Color was released almost a decade later in 1998, and while many games could be played on both Game Boy and Game Boy Color, some Game Boy Color games couldn't be played on the original Game Boy. Together, they sold a total of 119 million units. But the best-selling game on Game Boy, it's either Pokemon Generation 1, if we allow combining all the different versions, red, green, blue, and yellow, they sold a total of 46 million copies. Or if we want to go with just one game, it's Tetris, which sold 35 million copies, although it was packaged with the original Game Boy. I think Game Boy Color might be my favorite console of all time. I played so much Pokemon Red, even though it technically wasn't a Game Boy Color game. But what's your favorite console of all time? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to read that. I bet it's the Mattel Intellivision. That's a real console, by the way, from 1979. The controller had a keypad on it. But number 3, Nintendo Switch, the first one. The crazy thing is, I think the Switch 1 will continue to sell a lot of units, especially because it's cheaper than the Switch 2. It is a huge library of games, and you can use it as a controller for the Switch 2. But as of right now, it's sold a total of 152.12 million units. Highest selling game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 68.2 million copies sold. But the number 2 highest selling console of all time, Nintendo DS. The DS was really when Nintendo started shifting away from competing on graphical power and instead focused on more innovation and experimental hardware, with the dual screens on the DS, one of which was a touchscreen. If we include the original DS, the DS Lite, the redesigned DSi, and the DSi XL, in total, the Nintendo DS sold just over 154 million units. Highest selling game, New Super Mario Bros. With 30.8 million copies. But the number 1 highest selling video game console of all time, PlayStation 2. Released in the year 2000, not only was the PlayStation 2 a video game console, but it was also a reasonably priced DVD player for the time. Plus, it had full backwards compatibility with the original PlayStation games, all of which contributed to its incredible sales. The PlayStation 2 sold a total of 160.6 million units. And the highest selling PS2 game, GTA San Andreas, 17.33 million copies sold.